Greetings and welcome to Nerd College 101. Want to know just about everything there is to know about the Addams Family? Well, do I have a video for you. Here on this channel, spooky season begins the moment the finale comes to its end at the 4th of July fireworks show. But don't complain, people like myself are the only ones keeping Christmas from taking over even more of the calendar than it already has. Fall forever, baby. In that spirit, we thought we'd take a look at the history of television's first creepy and kooky family, their many adaptations, and what we know about Wednesday's next adventure at Nevermore Academy.
Now, let's play dolls.
If there's something we love here at the Nerd College aside from a crisp autumn breeze, it's whimsically eccentric oddballs. And if there's something else, it's media that encourages people to embrace their individuality and celebrate their differences. And if that doesn't sound like your thing, you're gonna have to answer to Uncle Fester. Everyone else, please walk this way. Created by cartoonist Charles Addams, the original version of the family took the form of single-panel comics that began featuring in The New Yorker in 1938. Although the characters did not as of yet possess first names, nearly every member of the family was represented, and their overall aesthetic has changed very little over the years, all things considered. This is a good time to explain that the overarching joke with the Addams family is that they enjoy things that other people consider macabre, if not downright terrifying. Back then, that was a novel enough idea to spawn over 150 individual comics, and the vast majority of them are simply excellent, like a creepy 1930s version of The Far Side.
Those people with the white picket fence and the pink geraniums?
There's something to what he says, Morticia. They are a bit peculiar.
I bet they've got daisies in their backyard.
Please, don't make me ill.
In the 1950s, American sitcoms were pretty much what you'd expect. Wholesome, family-oriented shows like Leave It to Beaver and Father Knows Best dominated the genre. By the early 1960s, however, the domestic life they portrayed became satirized by brilliant shows like Bewitched, and the first on-screen appearance of the focus of our discussion today, The Addams Family. In 1964, the series of comics was adapted by ABC into a television series that brought the Addams Family to a much wider audience and secured their place in cultural history. Featuring a light-hearted and comedic tone, the show was extremely popular with viewers and was even well received by Charles Addams himself, who commented that the television characters were half as evil as his original creations.
It's no use, Lurch. Apparently, I am doomed to live.
Sorry, sir.
A great deal of the show's humor comes from the family's interactions with everyday people, and their general lack of understanding that they're considered strange by outsiders. Why, feeding your carnivorous plant Cleopatra or blowing up a model train set with high explosives is just a regular day when you're an Addams. Establishing nearly all of the franchise's signature elements, including the iconic finger-snapping theme song by Vic Mizzy, the 1964 show also introduced the character Thing as a disembodied hand who resides in a box. A stroke of genius by the showrunners, this was an easy gag to pull off at the time and yielded big results. To this day, Thing is one of the franchise's most iconic characters. Along with their enjoyment of all things creepy and their disgust for normality, another quality of the Addams clan that deserves some attention is their inhuman levels of durability and their tolerance for pain. The members of the family have been shown to suffer no ill effects from being electrified, blown up, tortured, poisoned, etc. In fact, they're usually delighted. Although they can expire, they seem to do so when it suits them for the most part. Although a very popular and widely accepted fan theory that states an Addams cannot cause harm to another Addams neatly ties up most of the loose ends caused by this trait, their supernatural abilities are rarely ever explicitly explained in canon. Charmingly, incidents like these are far too commonplace for any Addams to comment on in a meaningful meaningful way. It's just everyday life for them. Most of the time, it's played as a running joke in the franchise to leave the audience just as baffled as the characters outside the family who witness these types of events.
This is your last warning!
Let's do a quick rundown of each of these mysterious characters. Gomez is the quintessential example of what it means to be an Addams. Eccentric, passionate, and devilishly charismatic, Gomez exudes all the traits one would expect from the head of the family. His greatest passion is his beloved wife, and although he's generally extremely genial and gracious, he protects his family savagely, as befits an Addams. A renowned fencer, his uncanny skill with a blade is a well-established aspect of his character.
I would die for her. I would kill for her. Either way, what bliss.
Morticia Addams, née Frump, is one of the earliest and most influential examples of dark elegance and has inspired generations of Gothic styles and attitudes. Both the beauty and the brains of the family, Morticia is an artist, a musician, enjoys gardening, delights in the occult, and loves her family just as fiercely as her husband. In the 1964 television series, she was portrayed as a smoker, though not in the way you'd expect.
You have betrayed the people of France. You are evil incarnate. How do you plead?
Guilty.
Guilty, by our own admission.
Wednesday and Pugsley Addams are the children of Gomez and Morticia. While Wednesday is the spitting image of her mother as a child and shares many of her characteristics such as her calm demeanor, Pugsley seems to take after his uncle Fester. Commonly shown playing together, the two Addams children have been raised to carry on their family's traditions and consistently make their elders proud.
Addams is as Addams does!
Although he was introduced as Morticia's maternal uncle in the 1964 show, Fester would famously become known as the dear brother of Gomez in adaptations going forward. An Addams to his core, Fester lacks the magnetic charm of his brother, but his time alone has allowed him to become a man of many talents, and his ability to conduct electricity was showcased even in the earliest adaptations.
Bone and brine!
Bone and brine. Works on cats.
In every iteration, there's usually a grandmotherly figure who specializes in witchcraft, curses, potion brewing, and offering sometimes questionable advice to the rest of the family. Though she's sometimes Gomez and Fester's mother, and sometimes Morticia's, the character has always served the same supportive role and, along with Fester, is one of the family's funniest members.
Lurch, was she in there before you baked?
The Addams' towering manservant, chauffeur, and jack of all trades, Lurch is the strong, silent type. Although how he came to their service is often left unexplained, he is adored by the family, and his loyalty to them is absolute, though he's often shown being somewhat exasperated by some of their more destructive shenanigans. Lurch is also a fan favorite, and although he's a man of few words, his signature catchphrase,
You rang.
is one of the most often quoted. Rounding out the regular cast, the Addams family would not be complete without Thing, their disembodied hand servant who communicates in many ways including snaps, gestures, and even Morse code. Thing's initial gag was to pop up in various places throughout the mansion and perform tasks like lighting cigars or fetching the mail. In later adaptations, developments in movie magic allowed him to move independently on his fingertips, and today Thing is known as one of the most capable, resourceful, and reliable members of the family.
And our credo, sic gorgiamus allos subjectatos nunc. We gladly feast on those who would subdue us. Not just pretty words.
Our spooky protagonists are of an ancient family line, and their ancestors have borne witness to and sometimes directly caused major historical events. In the modern era, their extensive clan can be found all over the world, and they love to gather and make merry with one another. The most frequently seen member of the extended family is Cousin It, who communicates in strange, high-pitched gibberish that only the Addamses can understand.
We must get your old voice back. Now.
Sorry, my dear, but it simply won't come out that way.
After the original series wrapped up, the Addams Family would next appear in animated form as guest stars on the new Scooby-Doo movies. After their van becomes stuck near the mansion, the Scooby Gang get roped into acting as housekeepers and babysitters while Gomez and Morticia go on vacation. Later that same year, ABC premiered a live-action reboot in the form of a musical variety show called The Addams Family Funhouse. Their animated debut was far better received, however, and Hanna-Barbera decided to give the family a cartoon show of their very own in 1973. Although it only ran for one 16-episode season, it still has a lot of charm.
Darling, we ought to be getting back to the children.
You're right, Curita. Oh, Lurch, yoo-hoo.
In 1977, ABC would bring the original series cast back together for a reunion special called Halloween with the New Addams Family. Although it received mixed reviews at the time, citing the special's meandering plot and economical production value, it was still great for fans to see the cast together again and would mark the only time their versions of the characters would appear in color.
Hey, 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 let's dance the dance of brotherly love. Mamushka!
After the longest break in the franchise's history, the Addams Family were thrust back into the spotlight with their first feature film in 1991. In his directorial debut, Barry Sonnenfeld, who would later go on to direct such films as Get Shorty and Men in Black, brought the characters to the big screen and in a big way. Featuring an absolutely legendary cast, including Angelica Houston, Raul Julia, Christina Ricci, and Christopher Lloyd, the movie was a smash hit and contributed to the growing genre of creepy but family-friendly films popular at the time. In fact, it was successful enough to receive the full 1990s treatment of an animated series and video games based on the property, which helped introduce the Addams Family to a younger generation. The 1992 animated series in particular is still a childhood favorite of many.
It's a boy. It's a girl.
Go ahead!
What news?
It's an Addams.
Sonnenfeld and the cast would return for a sequel titled Addams Family Values in 1993. Although the film didn't end up earning half as much as its predecessor at the box office, it was critically praised and is regarded by most as the superior film to this day. The sequel would also mark the first and only appearance of Gomez and Morticia's third child, Pubert Addams. In the late 90s, the powers that be attempted to revitalize the franchise once again with a direct-to-video movie called Addams Family Reunion in 1998, but it was hit with mixed reviews despite the fact that it starred Tim Curry and Daryl Hannah, among others. A spin-off TV series featuring mostly different actors called The New Addams Family premiered the same year and lasted for an impressive 65 episodes. Serving as an updated reboot of the original series with references to life in the 90s, it was well liked by viewers at the time, even if it never reached the heights or cultural significance of previous adaptations.
Salt, pepper, ants. Now where did I put the finger food? Don't worry, thing. It's no one you know.
I would be remiss if I did not quickly mention the Addams Family musical, which began its trial run in Chicago in 2009 before premiering on Broadway in 2010. Starring the outstanding duo of Nathan Lane and Bebe Neuwirth in the lead roles, the play ran for over 700 performances and was praised for its humor, catchy songs, and themes of individuality. The latest films to feature the family that's altogether ooky premiered in 2019 and 2021 respectively, and featured all new computer-animated models of the family, and an all-star cast of actors to provide the voices. The first movie was well-liked and scored big at the box office, resulting in a sequel in which Gomez believes the family is drifting apart and whisks them away on a wacky vacation to bring them all closer together. The second film was less successful commercially, but was well-liked in general by audiences.
Want to take a stab at being social? I do like stabbing.
Finally, the most recent iteration of the Addams Family was introduced to us in Netflix's Wednesday, which premiered in 2021, stars Jenna Ortega in the lead role, and was produced by Tim Burton, who also directed 4 episodes. The show centers on the eldest Addams child as she navigates her transition to Nevermore Academy, a school for outcasts, after being expelled from her previous institution. The students aren't your average cast-offs, however, as the majority of them are nearly as otherworldly as our lead character herself. In the earliest adaptation, Wednesday was shown to be about 6 years old, about 10 in the first feature film, and maybe about 13 in the sequel. So aging her up to about 16 for her very own show made a lot of sense for her character. Although the rest of the family receives less focus, their appearances are made memorable by the show's brilliant casting. Just like every teenage girl, Wednesday must balance new friends, rivals, and potential romantic interests with her emerging psychic powers and a mysterious murder plot that only she can solve. Thankfully, the ever-reliable Thing will be accompanying her on her adventure, but Wednesday will still have to learn she needs the support of her peers in order to survive the semester.
This is the first time you've ever willingly returned to a school. How does it feel?
Like returning to the scene of the crime. I already know where the bodies are buried.
The first season was a runaway global success, and after it shattered Netflix's records for the most watched original series, they quickly greenlit a second one. It's being released in 2 parts, with the first 4 episodes already available by the time this video premieres, and the remaining 4 debuting on September 3rd. Following her summer break, Wednesday has made her return to Nevermore, but this time she's joined by her brother Pugsley. The majority of the first season's cast have also returned, along with some brand new characters, such as their new principal, Barry Dort, brought to life by the ever-quirky and distinctive stylings of Steve Buscemi, and Professor Orloff, portrayed by Addams alum Christopher Lloyd. In promotional material released before the season came out, the showrunners as well as Ortega herself stated that the series will be going in an even bolder and darker direction, and the episodes released so far have not disappointed in that regard. Fans are excited for the season's conclusion in September, when we know a character portrayed by Lady Gaga will be joining the show as well. In our opinion, even though Netflix's Wednesday exists in a completely different genre than any previous adaptation, with its boarding school setting, focus on a large cast of characters, and murder mystery style plot and pacing, it still captures quite a bit of that old Addams charm. We're certainly enjoying the new season so far, and we hope it helps get everyone into that spooky season state of mind.
He ran a gulag in Siberia. You really know how to rattle the old cerebral cortex. Nobody sneaks up on me, kid. She with you?
And that's all for today. Thank you for sticking with us through our longest video yet. The Addams Family has always had a special place in my dark little heart, so I really enjoyed making this one. If you've enjoyed yourself too, please make sure to check out our other videos and leave a like, as it really helps our channel grow. Our mission is to help our viewers find their next nerdy obsession without giving away the whole story. Subscribe so you don't miss out on our future videos, and thank you for watching. Now, off to your next class.